this is a tough one because there's like so many choices. There was like the new GR Yaris that I want, there's also the Supra that I want, and then it's like a lot of choices. Yeah, so I've got this amazing opportunity to stay in Indy and Indianapolis, where it's basically the heart of racing in America. When I went there, I went through an intense training program. I worked out from 8 a.m. to till 4 p.m. And that includes a lot of cardio, a lot of neurocognitive training, lifting, gaining muscles, and a lot of medley relay workouts. Yeah, aside from that, my neck was obviously also a problem. I have a really thin neck, unfortunately, and so I needed to strengthen it to be able to withstand the G-force of the car, which is a lot. A Formula 3 car, it goes about 260 in the straight, so it's a lot of wind resistance coming into you. Just being able to carry the speed into the corner, it takes a lot of neck strength. And whenever the neck starts to give out, that's when you just, you can't drive anymore. You can't go fast. You can't push. So for us, we did a lot of training with the iron neck. It's this sort of device that you put into your head, and then people just pull it. They pull it in other directions, and they do a lot of crazy things. And I get into this machine. I think you've seen it with a lot of F1 drivers.
Yeah.
The sort of machine that they put here, and then you have to turn it, and then it's hell. It's torture. I think it's a 21st century torture device. To be honest, it's not easy. You have to really be strong. You need to have a strong heart to be able to do it, because you can easily give up. There's a lot of times mentally I was saying to myself, I'm gonna give up. It's too painful, it's too much for me, I can't handle it anymore. But in the end, I was like, I still want to race, so I'll still do it. Yeah. So aside from the physical training, I also got to talk with a lot of sports psychologists how to deal with pressure, because apparently pressure is one of the main things that really hampers an athlete. Not just racing. A lot of athletes, that whenever they're going through Olympic, they always perform so good, but then when there's a lot of people watching you and there's a lot of spotlight, there's always that fear of failure, and then you unconsciously put a lot of pressure on yourself to perform good so that you won't disappoint people or you won't embarrass yourself. So I had to talk to a sports psychologist, just to get through them, that sort of barrier and that mental barrier in my head of putting pressure on myself whenever it's not necessary. Like being just racing in W Series, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be watching, racing the same day as Formula One. I always just thought to myself, what if I make a mistake? What if I cross a red flag? What if I spin out? Or what if I become last or I get overlapped? There's always a lot of those negative thoughts that's not easy to push away. And it's a normal human behavior to sort of think for the worst. And that's what I do all the time. I always think of the worst thing possible that can happen. but yeah, after talking to a lot of people, I've managed to push past it. Now I don't fear failure as much. I see failure as a great way to learn, and having that mentality will definitely help me a lot this year. So I was saying that, like Jamie Chadwick and Emma Kamalainen, they were actually the two drivers that were selected to join the Race of Champions. As you know, everyone knows Race of Champions is one of them, sort of an inaugural, it's a race that's being held every year for racing drivers that are champion of some sort of motorsport, like rally, formula car, or touring car, and even F1 drivers. So being invited there really means that you're one of the best drivers in the world. So to be driving alongside people that are really the best of the best is definitely an honor, and I will do my best to learn from them. Yeah, Jamie, Jamie's been around for some time. She did British F4, and I've always just followed her. Ever since she got to W Series, that's how well, like she got known, and she's done. There was even a time where she drove with LMP too, and driving that car is definitely also a dream for me. So I hope one day I get to drive those as well, like Jamie. This is a tough one because there's like so many choices. There was like the new GR Yaris that I want, there's also the Supra that I want, and then it's like a lot of choices. But if I were to pick, gosh, this is difficult. Just because it's really affordable and it's a good car, I'd go with a BRZ, a Subaru BRZ.
Ah.
Ooh, I've never really put much thought into it because I don't have a license. But if this is tough. There's just a lot. There's a lot that I want. Definitely a Ferrari. One of those Ferraris. I also want there's those like the cars that aren't even legal in the United States. A Koenigsegg R. Yeah, I definitely want those.
Yeah.
Nagera. And just to keep it basic, I guess I'd also want 993 Porsche. Yeah.
Oh, so that's basic.
I mean, no, I mean
Yeah, something
from
you
from
can
like
use for
sort
the
of
grocery runs.
supercars, yeah.
Yeah.
And then my super. Well, here in Philippines, I definitely want to go to Pagudpod. Yeah,
Ah,
it's a long trip, but I want to do it. I want to drive it myself. But it's too long for a one driver. You need a switch for that.
yeah.
So I'll look for a driver that I can switch with, and I'll do the.
That's gonna be a
But
fun road trip.
yeah, but my dream tour would definitely be just driving around America, the 50 states. I want to do the 50 states. Yeah. Aside from winning W Series, I think there's a moment back when I was karting that's always gonna be sort of the core of my passion. Um, so there was a race that we did. It was a super national race in America. It was held in Las Vegas, SKUSA Super Nationals, and it's an annual race. And people from all over the world come and race together in America in Las Vegas. And there were over 91 drivers in my class that year in the cadet mini Swift category. And we were supposed to go there just to watch. Like that's what my dad told me. We were just gonna go there watch. Then later on I realized that he told me that no, we're gonna race. So even though it was so out of budget, doing a big race like that with a big team, it's definitely a bit out of budget for us. We weren't able to afford something like that. So, when we got there, I managed to race, and my dad was my mechanic because we couldn't afford a mechanic. So it was just me and my dad doing all of the man work, like dismounting the tires, putting on the engine, pushing the cart. And it was fun because I felt like I bonded with my dad so much because he was my mechanic. Like having him as a role model was something, but having him there working together and trying to win was the best feeling I've ever had in racing. And I wanted to repay all of his hard work by, at least, making it to the finals or something because that race has an elimination. And so they go from racing Thursday to Saturday.
there's a lot of heats that you have to race just in order to qualify, and you always need to be in the top 10 for you to make it till Sunday. And during qualifying, I told my dad that this one's for him, and I managed to qualify fourth out of 91 drivers. Yeah, and I was the only Filipino there, so that definitely was a memorable moment for me, qualifying fourth. And then obviously I made it to the finals, and then so we were there till Sunday, and then my dad even made a joke the night before that. I said that in case you don't qualify, let's just go to the casino after this. but unfortunately I qualified, so Sunday we did all the hard work, and then I finished. I don't remember I don't remember from the top of my head, but I think it was a top 20 finish. So
Yeah.
that's definitely very memorable for me. I mean, just because I'm a Ferrari by heart, I would pick Charles. But it's
Yeah.
just so hard to count anyone out. Like Lewis Hamilton. You would be a fool to count out Lewis Hamilton from the championship fight. Even
Yeah.
though he's not having the best year and not having the best car, I know that he's definitely gonna make a comeback sometime soon.
Yeah.
And once he does, it's definitely gonna be a three-way fight to the championship. But we're 1 and 2 in the standings, and Ferrari leading the construction championship as well. So we're feeling pretty confident with Charles.
It's looking like a great year for Ferrari so far. We
Yep.
agree.